Triple H has revolutionized WWE, but there are still significant gaps to fill. Stay tuned as we reveal the 4 pivotal fixes needed this year. Newer fans might not know it yet, but it is a glorious time to be a WWE fan right now. Ever since Triple H got complete creative control over the promotion back in 2022, he's brought a structure and calm to everything going on backstage. Gone are the days of episodes of Raw or SmackDown being rewritten as the show was going on, or the random alliances and turns that defied logic and frustrated fans. Long-term storytelling has become far more relevant, and fans are witnessing the fruits of that labor today. So many wrestlers at the top of the card have interwoven storylines and rich histories to draw from, giving fans more complex stories and far more engaging, layered characters. Having said that, Triple H's reign has had its share of issues. Some are glaring, and fans have been vocal about a change, while others have been more subtle, but still need to be fixed by the game in 2025. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and here are the 4 key issues we feel that Triple H should address in 2025. Before we begin with the video, be sure to click the thumbs up button and the subscribe button to never miss out on the fun content we make here at Honor Wrestling Club. Welcome to the club. Now, let's begin with Issue 1, Storytelling in the Women's Division. The women have few marquee stories to tell without a title involved. Right now, the WWE Women's Division is the greatest it has ever been, especially in NXT. The roster is stacked with talented wrestlers from top to bottom, which more than justifies the addition of the Women's Intercontinental and United States Championships. Beyond depth, the division features a wonderful mix of rising stars, established main eventers, and credible veterans. However, the biggest issue with Triple H's booking of the women's division has been his inability to tell engaging stories if a title is not involved. Even the Ripley vs. Morgan feud was first about the Women's World Championship, and Dominic Mysterio was merely a plot device to move the story forward. But Dom soon began to overshadow the title. The same cannot be said for the men's division. CM Punk's issues with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins are engaging without a title, as is his strange relationship with Roman Reigns through Paul Heyman. Lower down the card is the Final Testament's machinations, planting seeds of chaos. Look at the lower echelons of Raw and SmackDown's women's division, and you won't see the same complexity. Issue 2, Not striking while the iron is hot. Triple H's methodical booking has prevented him from pulling the trigger on angles at the right time. Triple H's penchant for long-term storytelling is a reprieve from the weekly chaos of a few years ago, but the game has displayed a degree of rigidity once he's made a decision, seemingly going too far the other way. Other than all the stars who rose and fell from the main event during Roman Reigns' record-breaking reign, smaller angles have suffered because Trips has not struck at the right moment. Look no further than the booking of Chad Gable. All the pieces were there for him to dethrone Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, but he was shafted by Sami Zayn. Granted, that resulted in a heel turn and aligned him with American Made, but instead of letting them go on a tear, the group has been booked terribly. Before that, Triple H dropped the ball on his storyline with Otis as well. Gable's lost loads of momentum and is in danger of a career spent as an enhancement talent, and a huge what could have been. Instead of being the second coming of Kurt Angle, fans believe he could be. There is also the story of A-Town Down Under. WWE heavily teased a Theory face turn or a Waller heel turn in the team breaking up, and fans responded favorably to that idea, only for it to not go anywhere and seemingly being dropped. Whenever the turn does happen, it will elicit a fraction of the response it would have been a few months ago. Issue 3, Lengthy main event title reigns. The world title scene is quite predictable outside WrestleMania season. To his credit, Triple H's decision to have long title reigns, especially at the top of the card, has done wonders to further legitimize the World Heavyweight and WWE Championships. But fans have soured on that style of booking because it makes title feuds predictable for most of the year, except for WrestleMania season. The game doesn't need to start playing hot potato with the world titles, but unexpected world title wins or shorter reigns will make the rest of the year feel like anything could happen, and give them a genuine reason to tune into the weekly television and B-level pay-per-views rather than just poking their noses in around Mania season. Number 4. Over-reliance on factions. This booking choice is a double-edged sword and must be used sparingly. It is understandable why Triple H has a soft spot for factions. His roles in DX and Evolution were instrumental to his career. But WWE arguably has too many factions right now, with the company having about 10 groups at any given time. Some of them make perfect sense, like the different Bloodline groups or the Judgment Day. Triple H understands that a well-booked faction can get over multiple stars at the same time, often with the same storyline. After all, he did come through in the Attitude Era, where there were about 1 million factions running around. But the opposite holds true as well, as a poor faction holds all its members down. Just look at the Pure Fusion Collective, which feels like the most ad hoc alliance ever, or the LWO, which has been spinning its wheels for months. It is a creative headache for Triple H because he has so many talented wrestlers on his roster and not enough spots for all of them, but his over-reliance on factions is a glaring weakness in his booking. There's also the fact that War Games is now a staple of Survivor Series, which means it's easier for Triple H to have pre-established factions in place to fill up the cages, instead of having to stitch them together from scratch in the run-up to the events. But that leaves most factions struggling for direction for the rest of the year. As we mentioned at the beginning, Triple H's era is light years ahead of the last few years of Vince's reign in charge of WWE. We don't want these to come across as too entitled or negative, but these are slight changes or tweaks that we feel could be made to make the product even better and more engaging week to week. However, there are the issues we have identified that need changing. So, what do you think? Do you agree with our issues? And what changes would you say Triple H needs to make? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. I'd like to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to Honor Wrestling Club. Thank you for watching, and welcome to the club. See you next time.